And after almost 3 weeks of no basketball, we are live here once again for the NCRAA Season 30. And now we're here at the Calasiao Sports Complex here in Pangasinan. Charles Bechong here, Coach Anton de los Reyes, bringing you the action for the NCRAA Season 30. Great to have you with us, everyone. And now we have 3 games ahead of us. First is the Olivares College Sea Lions going up against Asian Institute of Maritime Studies Blue Sharks. Now, Olivares College, in terms of strength, skill, experience, they are the strongest in paper. But the thing is, hindi sila lagi nakukumpleto, Coach. Probably ngayon lang yata sila nakumpleto for the entire season.
So for Olivares, they're always considered to be contenders, always fighting for the championship. They've won the NCRAA championship title 3 times. So they're always there. We're going to see if, like what you mentioned, for this game, this is probably the first time that they're going to be complete. So we'll see how they're going to do against their matchup with the Blue Sharks.
Habang dito naman sa kabila, Ames Blue Sharks, Asian Institute of Maritime Studies, suffered a heartbreaking loss. That game went down the wire, giving them their first loss of their season, which now they stand at 5-1.
So for the Blue Sharks, a very surprising team. 13 rookies in tow.
Wow.
So you wouldn't expect that they would be at 5-1 like what you mentioned. They had that loss their last outing. So we want to see if they're going to bounce back. Long layoff, nice rest. We all know that the Blue Sharks are they play very fast pace. So the rest is definitely going to do them good.
Habang dito naman sa Olivares College, one player stood out from the rest nung nakaraang laro, and that is John Umali, who had a stellar performance last game.
So John O'Malley, like what you mentioned, he was the player of the game their last time out. He had 25 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Coincidentally, that's his second consecutive player of the game performance. So let's see if he's going to go for 3 straight.
Habang sa kabila naman, JV Odvina, who in their previous game wasn't feeling 100% pala.
Yeah, so JB Odvina, last game, he was feeling under the weather. Medyo may trangkaso, so he had the flu game. So medyo he wasn't feeling himself. He wasn't feeling like himself during the last game. So we'll see if for this game he's 100%, if he will lead his team, the Blue Sharks, to a victory.
And we will have the answers for all of those questions in just a short while. Pero bigay muna natin sa ating venue announcer for the starting lineups.
Masantos Yakabsan at Sikayo Namid, and welcome to Calasiao Sports Complex in Calasiao, Pangasinan. This is the season 30 of the National Capital Region Athletic Association on tour here in Northern Luzon. We are live on Facebook at facebook.com/NCRA and on YouTube channel at NCRAA. First game of our triple header featuring the Ames Blue Sharks versus the Olivares College Sea Lions. Let's meet the starters first for the Olivares College Sea Lions. Small forward number 23, MJ Galliano. Power forward number 8, Iverson Akiatan. Center number 30, Lian Barbero. Point guard number 16, John Escalante. And shooting guard number 33, Lance De Leon. Head coach for the Sea Lions, Mike Sagigit, assisted by Steven Morpera and Philip De La Cruz. And now the starters for the Asian Institute of Maritime Studies, Blue Sharks. Small forward number 23, Matthew Zapira. Power forward number 6, Gosh Gorea. Center number 5, Mac Reyes. Point guard number 2, Jericho Peralta. And shooting guard number 28, Rainier Hornacion. Head coach for the Blue Sharks, Kiko Flores. assisted by Derwin De La Punta and Sean Cruz. Our officials for this first game, Crew Chief Jerry Gabriel, Umpire 1 Eric Robles, Umpire 2 Eduardo Villarosa. This game is under the supervision of Technical Head John Santiago and Commissioner Anthony Surin. This is NCRA Season 30 on tour, exceeding sports beyond borders.
All right. And we're just waiting for tip-off. And we are underway. First possession goes to the Olivares College. Surprisingly, John O'Malley is not starting for today. Alala naman natin na siya yung nag-best player nung nakaraang laro nila. And Coach Mike Sagigit has that luxury of having John O'Malley come off the bench.
So that's right, Charles. John Umali, one of the bright spots for their last game and the prior games with their two-game winning streak. It's very, very nice to have, like you said, that kind of luxury wherein you can field in a player off the bench and going to produce. So we're looking to see how the Sea Lions are going to fare in this matchup. It is a battle of two teams that are at number one. They're sharing the top spot. So an all-important game, whoever wins this will be number one.
And Escalante hits that three-pointer to give his team a 5-point lead early in this first quarter. Habang dito naman sa Ames, JV Odvina also not starting for today, Coach.
So JB Odvina, like what we mentioned in their last game, or like what I had mentioned in the last game, was feeling under the weather. So for now, he is going to come off the bench. We want to see if he's going to lead this team. Because of course, iba yung leadership that JB shows when he is on the floor. So you like to see that kind of leadership, especially in an all-important matchup such as this one, wherein they're going to have a share, or not a share actually, but the number one ranking in the team standings for season 30 of the NCRAA.
So this is going to be a battle of who's going to be at the top spot, yung number one, Coach. Dahil parehas 5-1 tong kupunan natin eh.
Yes.
Meanwhile, 2 free throws is a miss. Lapira goes inside. And he is fouled. Oh, a traveling violation is going to be called against Mark Reyes. Wala siya nung nakaraang laro, Coach.
So Mark Reyes, the last game, was also mentioned by Coach Kiko. He was injured. Now, he didn't specify what kind of injury, but he was, yes, not in the starting lineup. He played, I think, a few minutes during that game, probably to try out if kaya, pero hindi siguro kinaya. That's why he didn't play heavy minutes the last time.
And still, the Blue Sharks scoreless after 2 minutes of basketball. Lapira against Galliano, backing down, fades. All air on that play. Oblacion. Lapira, nothing. 3 servings for the Blue Sharks. Still, parang may takip yung kanilang ring dito.
So Carlos Lapira, underneath, he's really, really excellent. You know, he knows how to operate. I remember the last game, he had that go-ahead basket underneath. So he knows how to operate underneath. So we're going to see. There you go.
Speaking of, right
underneath,
on cue
yes,
is Peralta. That is just great movement without the ball, Coach.
Yes. So they have great movement. That's sign of familiarity. They know where their teammates are going to be. And that catches the other team off guard. That's why there was a foul right now when you see Carlos Lapira shooting 2 free throws. So it really plays well when you're familiar, when you listen to the system and you follow the system of your head coach.
And Carlos Lapira opens up the scoreboard for the Blue Sharks. The score now is 5 2-1 with 7:28 remaining. Barbero, it's blocked by Mark Reyes. Now they get the possession. Oblacion. Reyes with the floater. Nothing there. Kanila pa rin ang bola. And the ball will stay with the Blue Sharks.
So that was a great block shown by Mark Reyes. That was what they were missing in the last game, that kind of presence. So we all know what Mark Reyes is contributing to this Blue Sharks team.
Hornacion's 3 won't go. Now it's the Sea Lions. Galliano. 16 seconds to work with. It's with Lian Barbero. Akyatan inside. Drops it. Barbero's mid-range. Won't go.
So great box out being shown by number 28, Hornacion. Not the biggest guy on the floor, but because of boxing out properly, able to get that rebound.
De Leon, one-hander. That's his patented move, coach.
We were talking about that last night, that he rises up with both hands, but then his left hand, the guide hand, lets go, and he just shoots that one-hander.
And now they lead by 6. 6:20 remaining. Peralta wants to give it. Reyes against Barbero, carving out space. Nothing there. Galliano fighting for that ball. And Kiko Flores not very happy of what he's seeing right now, knowing that they just came from a loss.
Yes, so you're definitely, you want to come out with intensity when you just come from a loss, especially a heartbreaking loss. So that's what Coach Kiko Flores is a bit disappointed with.
Galliano's fake, and he scores for 2. Now the score is 9-1 with the halfway mark of the first quarter. Peralta pushing the pace. Now it's with Lapira. Siya pa lang ang nakakascore dito. Hornacion with 10. Spins. That is short. And a steal by Peralta. Durante against him. Lapira drops it off to Mark Reyes, who finally gets their first field goal.
So good pass from Lapira, driving inside the lane and being able to locate his teammate inside.
Escalante with 13. Gives it to Galliano. Lapira on him. He's doubled. Fades. That is short. De Leon with the offensive rebound. De Leon sidesteps. Barbero top of the circle 3. Off to the left. Now it's with Peralta. They trail by 6. And that is good for Peralta. Finally, seems like things are going their way now after a cold start.
So just getting into the groove of things, and like what I always mention, it's adrenaline dump now. They've settled down. 5 minutes has gone past this ball game, so definitely settling down into their offense. Talking about the Blue Sharks.
Galliano's 3 won't go. Gorrea with the rebound. Now it's with Gorrea against Barbero. Spins, kicks it out. Lapira's 3 won't go. Barbero secures the rebound. Escalante fakes. Now it's with the team captain De Leon. 15 to work with. Barbero gives it to Galliano against Lapira. Spins. Nowhere to go. Pero still, nagawa niya ng paraan. That foul was against Matthew Lapira.
So Lapira getting that foul. Sorry, Galliano getting that foul from Lapira. Displaying excellent footwork underneath. So we always stress this. You need to work on your skills in terms of footwork, because that does help you out when you are in tight situations like that underneath the basket.
Peralta's three. Nobody boxed out Durante on that play. And then the attempt for the rebound was late.
So fresh legs for Coach Kiko Flores. You have JB Odvina, and then you have, I believe, that twin is inside as well. And you have Daryl Durante. So fresh legs gives you this kind of opportunity, second chance points. So Coach Kiko, I was talking to him earlier. Now he did mention that they did prepare for the offense of the Sea Lions, talking about the triangle offense that the Sea Lions employ. They were looking for ways to be able to penetrate and make sure they get those points.
And nothing on that play from the Sea Lions. And surprisingly, Coach, patapos na yung first quarter, we're still not seeing Dolalia, Umali, Hunko, diba? So that's a luxury in the part
Yes.
of Coach Mike Sagigit.
That's true. Imagine Dulalia is what, 6'5". He's going to tower against this.
Lapira, oh.
Yes, he's going to tower against this Blue Sharks team. But I spoke to Coach Mike as a matter of fact. What he mentioned was he wanted to control the speed of the Blue Sharks. So naturally, not saying that Andre Dolalia is not fast. However, the bigger you are, of course, it's going to be a bit more difficult for you to catch up against the smaller players because they're going to be faster. So that could be a reason why we haven't seen Andre Dolalia in this ball game.
Meanwhile, 14-7 is our score. Durante's floater and Iverson Akyatan clipped on the hands of Durante on that attempt. And now, John Umali, the best player for 2 consecutive games para sa Olivarez College, now in the ball game. Fresh legs, yung sinasabi mo, Coach. And Durante, one of the key players nung nakaraang laro nila. And we all know how heartbreaking that loss was. So we'll see how they will respond to that this game. Lalo, ang tagal ng pahinga natin, Coach. Almost 3 weeks.
That's definitely in the favor of the Blue Sharks because they do play fast. Their speed is the advantage that they have. Talking about speed, you see how fast they cover the passing lane, was able to get that turnover. So the long layoff really helps them out. It's really in the favor of the Blue Sharks.
Durante on the attack, spins against Barbero. Fouled! In a traveling violation. And still, the score is 14-8. 6-point lead for the Sea Lions with 2:45 remaining here in the first.
That was an excellent drive by Daryl Durante. Too bad he was just called for steps.
And that 1-2-1-1 press was broken easily by the Sea Lions, resulting to a wide open layup. Now Peralta. 2:29 remaining. Kanya pa rin ang bola. Thought about it. 12 seconds to work with. Durante, the twin wants it. He sets the pick. Durante. Umali with the rebound. Now it's with Umali. Top of the key three. In and out. Peralta is running. Goes to the twin. His three-pointer won't go. Durante fights for it. Still. Maikong on to Barbero. Wanted to drop it off to Renon. JV Odvina. Goes all the way. Basket and a foul for JV Odvina.
So there's the JB Odvina that we know. Remember that game against the Patriots where JB, we called him the fireman because of his timely hits wherein he would stop the run or there would be a run and JB Odvina would be able to convert. That's exactly what he did right now. Prior to that attempt or that field goal by JB Odvina, they were 0 for 5. So that was a timely basket. So the fireman, we like to call
Yeah,
him.
that moniker, fireman. Pamatay sunog.
Yes.
Now it's with Renon. Wanted to drop it off to Junco. Now they trail by 5. 1:23 remaining. Durante now to Odvina. Bautista, sayang yun. Napakialaman ni Renon. Escalante now to Maicong. He spins. He got doubled. And he got fouled.
Pushing foul number 98 wins Waminal. Second personal, 14 fouls.
So the transition offense of the Sea Lions.
Oh, an unsportsmanlike foul is gonna be called against Bautista.
Unsportsmanlike foul on Ames Blue Sharks, number 13, MJ Bautista.
And things are not looking good so far for Coach Kiko
Excessive
Flores.
hard contact, first personal.
So unsportsmanlike foul, you don't like seeing those types of fouls because that does disrupt the flow of your, well, not only the game but also the offense. Huli. So it's usually the one that retaliates is the one that gets caught. So
Lugi yung bumawi, Coach.
exactly.
And now they lead by 7. Olivares College 18, Ames 11. 1:05 remaining. Knockout play sana yun. Now it's with Umali. Tries that three-pointer. Still scoreless here in this ball game. Under a minute remaining here in the first. Ball is with Durante. Hands it off to the twin. Bautista with 12. He spins. Great defense by the Sea Lions on that play.
That was great defense shown by the Sea Lions. Very disciplined, making sure that they're in front of their man.
And that press was easily broken again by the Sea Lions. 27 seconds remaining, and he steps on the line.
So that's Hans Maicong stepping on the line, not aware of where he is on the court. So sometimes that happens, especially if you're on that corner
Happens
near
to the best of
sideline.
us.
Yes.
16 seconds left here in the first. Waminal against Junco. Odvina has to make something. Arches with 4. Junco, is it enough? Fouled! And 1 for Max Junco. Magic bunot para kay Coach Mike Sagigit to end the first. Now he has the chance to give his team a double-digit lead to end the first. And he's been the energy guy. Kada naman pinapasok siya ni Coach Mike. Talagang energy yung binibigay niya dito sa kanyang kumpulan. At the end of first, a 9-point lead for Olivares College Sea Lions. 20-11.
Would like to thank the following Philippine Sports Commission, Samahan Basketball ng Pilipinas, Forest Lodge Baguio, Oxy, Panina Beach Camp, our official ball, Alton, Also, we would like to thank our distinguished guests for today in attendance, our NCRA treasurer from Asian Institute of Maritime Studies, Mr. Ted Gada. Also from the University of Luzon host team, Mr. Jack Vidal. From PAX College of Aeronautics, NCRA Auditor Benjamin Hernandez Jr. And of course, our NCRA General Manager, Mr. Bobby Encarnado.
We're still live here at the Calasiao Sports Complex here in Pangasinan for the continuation of the elimination games of the NCRAA Season 30. Charles Bechong here, Coach Anton de los Reyes bringing you the action for our Friday triple header, and it's the battle between Olivares College Sea Lions and Asian Institute of Maritime Studies Blue Sharks. And at the end of first, the score is 20-11, a 9-point lead for the Olivares College Sea Lions. And before we ended the first quarter, Max Gigay for Olivares College had a buzzer beater. Yun nga lang, hindi niya na-shoot yung bonus free throw to give his team a double-digit lead.
Double-digit lead, sana, coming into the second quarter for the Sea Lions. Story so far, Charles, and for the viewers who just tuned in, the first quarter, very, very low field goal percentage for the Blue Sharks. They went 3 for 19. That's 15.8% from the field. Whereas the Sea Lions, 44.4%, 8 out of 18. So that's why they have this 9-point lead. So we want to see the Blue Sharks converting more of their shots, being able to run their offense properly, as what Coach Kiko said, wag tayong bara-bara. That was his instruction to these young men.
If you can only hear him during the huddle, Coach, right?
Very
So
anime.
we're all inviting you to watch us live here at the Calasiao Sports Complex. It's actually the third time we've been here in the history of the NCRAA. So we're very happy to be playing out of town, having out of town games, and exploring and having the chance to play in different places.
It's also a very beautiful venue. I believe even professional teams, they come here to play in this sports complex, talking about the Calasiao Sports Complex. Home of the Putong Calasiao.
Yes, it would be a sin kung hindi tayo bibili at mag-uuwi
Yes. So,
ng Puto Calasiao. Meanwhile, a lot of action is happening on the court. A double foul, I believe, against Junco and the Twin.
so this is now the intensity that we're seeing. The 5-1 intensity. Both teams at 5-1. So definitely you want that intensity. You want that 6-1 record.
Meanwhile, Dan Arches extends the lead to 11 points. 8:47 remaining. Durante sidesteps, goes reverse. What a tough shot for Durante.
Daryl Durante with that escape act. Two players from the Sea Lions met him, but he was able to slice through the defense of those two defenders.
Meanwhile, Maikong and Dan Arches, nobody boxing him out on that play.
So personal 4-0 run or 4-2 run by Dan Arches.
And again, Coach Kiko Flores not liking what he's seeing right now. But in the short, you know, time that we've known Coach Kiko Flores, he's a motivator.
Yes. He's very soft-spoken actually. If you talk to him outside the court, he's very soft-spoken. Very, very nice guy. Puts importance in academics, as what
Yes.
most coaches should do. Because remember, these are student athletes, and as student athletes say, or as the term student athlete, it's student first.
Student first,
So,
that's correct.
you like seeing that, hearing that from Coach Kiko Flores and all the other coaches that we've gotten a chance to speak to. They always put importance in studies, being a student first.
Well, maybe because these coaches were players before and they know that basketball is not forever.
That's true.
Meanwhile, action resumes. Hunko gets that mini bump and that short stab to go. Andre Dolalia checks in
Your teammate before.
in college,
Yes.
in high school
High
rather.
school.
And they get the ball back. And now, a steal by the Blue Sharks. Bautista. Masyado yatang minadali yung tira doon ni Bautista. Maikong against Waminal. Maikong goes all the way. Basket and the foul. That's against Leonard Montilla.
So this is great back and forth action we're seeing. Just Olivares being more in control of their offense.
And this is, remember, this is the battle for the #1 spot. And now it's ballooned to a 14-point game. 29-15 in favor of Olivares with 7:33 remaining here in the first half. Montilla. Now it's with the twin. Waminal. Won't go. Hunko skying high with that rebound. Maikong. Akyatans 3. No, so that's Hyber rather. And a foul is going to be called underneath.
We don't see that too often. Talking about Aldel Hyber taking that three-point shot. He's more known as an inside operator. That's the luxury you have. You have Andre Dulalia, you have Chester Hunko inside. Forces Aldel Hyber to play outside. Coach Mike Sagigit mentioned that during the break, they stayed very busy talking about the Sea Lions playing against the Parañaque Patriots of the MPBL. So they're kuyas, that is what they refer to.
Meanwhile, Jericho Peralta hits that short stab. They now trail by just 12. And yung sinasabi mo nga kanina, Coach, that's additional exposure sa kanila, Coach. You know, those are really important. Meanwhile, Arches. Now it's with Hyber. Maikong with 8. Drops it to Hunko. Drops it to Dolalia. Won't finish. Kanya pa rin ang bola. And Dolalia is fouled. He was towering over everybody on that play.
So this is the advantage of having those bigs inside for the Sea Lions. Ika nga, in basketball, height is might, and we're seeing it right now. And how do you counter that? You need to box out. You need to box out properly. You need to be able to locate your man to be able to get that effective box out so you can out-position them.
And
Obviously,
also-
talunan. Hindi kaya, malaki.
Also, Coach, we have to remember Lapira still not on the floor.
Yes.
So who's gonna guard Andre Dolalia with your tallest guy on the bench? Montilla Short stab won't go. Rebound by Dan Arches. We're approaching the halfway mark of the second quarter. Maikong couldn't get it. Great box out. Yun yung hinahanap mo kanina pa, Coach.
So we want to see the Blue Sharks, the bigs of the Blue Sharks, undersized bigs, boxing out properly.
Reyes. And he is fouled by Maikong.
So Hans Maikong getting called for that bump. So it's always funny to see when they get called for a foul, they bump. They're saying, wala. I think it's just one of those things where it's like a natural, normal reaction. Na walang foul, ref.
But when you watch the replay,
you'll see. Oo nga, may bangka.
Meanwhile, it's Peralta, picked by Reyes. Peralta is blocked by Dan Arches. Now, the white shirts are running. De Leon. Three-pointer won't go. Geronimo with the rebound. Sila naman ngayon ang tumatakbo. Peralta short stab is short. Saved it to Monsayak. 12 seconds to work with. Great drop pass to Reyes.
That was a great drop pass, and I was actually going to scratch my head already with that shot because he did not use the board. I was thinking, you gotta use the board, but it went in. So good job for Mark Reyes.
Steal by Peralta. Now it's just an 11-point ball game, and a timeout has been called by Coach Mike Sagigit. Or sorry, that's a 9-point ball game. 30-21, and Coach Mike Sagigit wants to call timeout. Nine-point lead for the Olivarez College Sea Lions with 4:34 to go here in the first half. And it seems like the Blue Sharks are slowly getting their rhythm going here in the late second quarter.
You like to see that from the Blue Sharks. You want to see that fight in this team because obviously they are a very capable team. They're capable of coming back. They're capable of winning their games against contenders like the Sea Lions.
Meanwhile, Dan Arches hits his first three-pointer. Actually, parang unang three-point field goal yata yun ng game natin, Coach, no?
The first shot was a three-point. The second shot of the Sea Lions was a three-pointer.
And that's gonna be a problem for Coach Kiko Flores' team. Kapag pumapasok na yung mga three-pointers nitong Olivarez
Because
College.
it's going to be inside and out. They remember how the height advantage is on the Sea Lions side. So definitely that's going to be a problem already.
Montilla's three won't go. Dan Arches is running. They don't have the numbers. And that is good. 5 straight points for Dan Arches. Ang ganda ng tawag ng timeout ni Coach Mike Sagigit, Coach.
Very timely. was that break in the action for Coach Mike Sagigit.
Waminal. Or that's Munsayak. Drops it to Reyes. Couldn't get the basket to fall. He was fouled by Andre Dulalia.
Mark Reyes, a very long athletic player for the Blue Sharks and the Blue Sharks of Coach Kiko Flores. He's their starting center, and Carlos Lapira slides to the 4 spot when Mark Reyes is healthy.
Takbo na naman ngayon itong mga nakaputi. De Leon, Umali. Finally, he hits his first field goal of this game. That's his favorite, yung top of the circle 3.
It's unexpected. Normally, top of the key 3-point shots aren't as expected as the wing threes.
Lapira answers back with a 3 of his own. Peralta had that open look, pero decided to kick it out to his open teammate Lapira, who hits that 3-pointer. Now it's with Munsayaka. Drops it off to Geronimo. Peralta fakes. Mark Reyes. Now Geronimo kind of forced that shot. Umali wants to go back to back. He goes back to back.
So they're really looking for John Umali in his game. So he made the 3-point shot, missed, but then back down, he made it again.
Meanwhile, Carlos, or Matthew Lapira rather, goes back to back also. And now Umali wanted to go for 3 triples. Nothing.
So it's John Umali versus Carlos Lapira. It's a good matchup if you look at both their size. So that's a good matchup to have.
And they're also playing the same position,
Yes.
coach.
So that's why it's such a good matchup to look out for.
And dito si Coach Kiko Flores talagang binabalasa na yung kanyang mga baraha. Lahat nakakalaro na dito eh. He's wondering who's gonna be, the spark of this team.
He's looking for that combination that's going to get his team back into this ball game.
Galliano checks back in. De Leon thought about it. 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in the first half. De Leon attacks. Wanted to drop it off to Barbero. Now Peralta's breakaway layup will go. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Barbero kicking it out. Umali. It's all net on that 3-pointer. John Umali hits 3 3-pointers in a single quarter.
So you're pretty much wondering how John Umali can be that wide open, knowing that he can knock down those shots, and he's a streaky shooter. Definitely an adjustment needs to be made by Coach Kiko Flores and his Blue Sharks.
Barbero wants it. Galliano with 12. Now back to Umali. And a traveling violation is going to be called against their captain, De Leon. And you were saying, Coach, you were wondering how John Umali gets wide open looks like that.
Yeah, it is because as a coach, you scout, you have your assistant coaches scouting, and in-game, you see that he's getting hot. Not to say that Coach Kiko Flores and his assistant coaches aren't doing their jobs, but it's more of the Sea Lions are really able to utilize John O'Malley properly in this ball game and the past ball games, which is evident. That's why he gets the Player of the Game award. So I really want to see the adjustments. I want to see the Blue Sharks make a ball game out of this.
3 servings. Couldn't get a basket for the Blue Sharks. Now it's 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. 44-31 is the score. Now the twin from defense to offense is Danny the twin.
A great steal there by the twin.
20 seconds remaining here in the first half. Barbero sets the pick. Dan Arches, Odvina on him. Muntik pang mawala sa kanila yung bola. And that's the second foul of Lapira. He's got to be careful. He's the main guy of the Blue Sharks.
So that foul by Lapira off of Galliano, I wouldn't say it was unnecessary, but it was incidental. Kumbaga, they were jockeying for position, and when Galliano was able to get, or when he was able to receive that pass, medyo yung kamay, syempre, posisyonan. There's always hands. And it's not that they're pushing off or holding, but you need to. You have that when you're jockeying for position. So during that time, medyo nahuli na hawak yung kamay.
And 46-33 is our score. 9.2 seconds remaining here in the first half. Ooh, it's Galliano committing his third personal foul.
So MJ Galliano's foul. Bit too aggressive. Medyo he wasn't gonna get to that spot. Pero nabangga niya Nabangga niya si JB Odvina.
5.2 remaining here in the first half, and now they're in the penalty. JV Odvina finally getting his rhythm back after that 4-0 run by himself no first quarter.
So JB Odvina
hitting 2 of 2, and a timeout has been called by Olivarez College with 5.2 remaining here in the first half. 46-35 in favor of Olivarez. .2 seconds remaining here in the first half. The score is 46-35 in favor of Olivarez College. Now, they called a timeout to, put the finishing touches to end the second quarter.
So Coach Mike Sagigit calling that timeout to be able to draw up a play and get almost
a timeout wasted.
Yes, but no, speaking about Coach Mike Sagigit, you always want to be able to get the best shot, even if it's only 5 seconds, 3 seconds. You want to be able to get the best shot available to increase your lead and get that momentum going into the third quarter. Continue that momentum.
And almost a steal again by the Blue Sharks. Danny the twin 1.4 seconds remaining. Enough for a quick shot. Akyatan won't go. And that will do it at the end of the second quarter. The score is 46-35 in favor of Olivares College Sea Lions. We'll be back after this halftime break. We're still live here at the Calasiao Sports Complex here in Pangasinan for the continuation of the elimination games ng ating NCRAA Season 30. Charles Bilchong here. Coach Anton de los Reyes bringing you the action of the first game of our Friday triple header. 46-35 is our score at the end of second. Olivares still in favor.
So for the first half, the shots are there for the Blue Sharks. They attempted 41 field goals, but only converted 11. So that's a 26.8% clip. On the other end, the Sea Lions attempted 40, but they were able to convert 17. So that's 42.5. But the biggest disparity is in the three-point shots made. So you have for the Sea Lions 5 for 16, 31%. For the Blue Sharks, 2 out of 10. So that's 20%. So that's where the disparity lies. Big reason for that is John Umali. John Umali.
Second quarter alone,
3 3-point shots made. So that's a big reason why. And we did talk about him early during our pregame, Charles. John Umali doing the damage for the second game now. Third game now, I should say.
and for the Blue Sharks, you only have Carlos Lapira hitting a couple of three-pointers. 9:21 remaining. Maikong on the attack. He finishes. Plus the foul.
So that hard drive by Hans Maikong caught the defense off guard. They were expecting to dump it down low. Instead, he took it strong to the basket. So good recognition by Hans Maikong.
48-35, 13-point lead for the Sea Lions. And finally, Ramitiere opens up the scoreboard here in the third quarter for Ames Blue Sharks.
So JB Ramitiere didn't start for the Blue Sharks, but Coach Kiko Flores opting to put him inside. Something new, something different. Spark off the bench for the Blue Sharks.
And you were telling earlier, Coach, Coach Kiko Flores is finding the right combination for his team. Lalo na, they're down by 11 points and they're coming from a loss.
They do want to get back into that win column. You see Peralta and Odvina inside. They didn't start together, but now Coach Kiko Flores electing to have them both there. So So talagang combinations. That's what Coach Kiko Flores is looking for right now.
Odvina back on the floor. 18 seconds to work with. His three-pointer won't go. At bola, babalik pa rin sa Blue Sharks after it was last touched by... Oh! And they overturned the call. Sa Olivares ang bola. Now it's time for the Blue Sharks to set up their defense. Ito na naman yung press nila. And that's easily broken every time by the Sea Lions. Now the twin to Correa goes all the way. Malakas yung tira niya doon, but a foul is gonna be called against Lian Barbero and he'll shoot 2 free throws.
Correa taking it strong against Lian Barbero. Rightfully so. He does have the advantage over Lian Barbero in terms of strength inside. So Lian Barbero, he is a tall player, but we all know he plays the wing position for the Sea Lions. So good recognition. You like to see that from players being able to make the right reads at the right time.
And finally, a steal from the Blue Sharks. Peralta, can they convert? Kanila pa rin ang bola. Now it's with Correa. Barbero again on him. And a steal by the Blue Sharks. The twin finishes through contact. Basket and a foul for Danny the twin. Now they just lead by 7.
So Danny the twin getting that bang in the bucket, but you have to give credit to JB Odvina. He was the one who got the hand on that ball for Danny the twin to be able to get that steal. So JB Odvina, the smallest guy on the floor, always the most active guy. So I love seeing JB Odvina doing damage when
Danny
he's
the
on the
twin
court.
couldn't get the bonus free throw to fall. Still, they trail by 7 now. John O'Malley's back in the ball game. Maikong with 14. And he travels clearly.
So Hans Maikong, a bit over-eager seeing JB Odvina in front of him.
Odvina on the attack. Wow! Series of moves from JB Odvina. Yun nga lang, it resulted to a turnover. Sabi ni Coach Kiko Flores, hindi naman na.
Panira na actually yon kay JB when he was able to elude the defense.
Ay, clearly, you got that separation, Coach.
Yes.
Still a 7-point ball game. 48-41 is our score. 7-12 remaining here in the third. Dan Arches tries the 3. Nothing there. Correa is running. He's guarded by Junco. Now it's with the twin. 16 seconds. Odvina on top of the key. Hands it off. Now it's back to Rametiere with 10. And that three-pointer is a miss from Rametiere. Rebound by the white shirts. Umali pushing the pace. Renon. Stop, pop, nothing. Kanila pa rin ang bola. Dan Arches. Now it's with Umali. Wanted to go for 4 3-pointers. But those kinds of shot, Coach, hindi ka magagalit no? Kay John Umali.
So John O'Malley, known for making those types of shots, even with the hand on his face. JB Odvina was able to challenge that shot. And I like that challenge of JB Odvina because he didn't go for the body. He went for the shooting hand. And that bothered John O'Malley enough to miss that 3-point attempt.
Olivares College. Now it's Renon. Slithering through the defense of the Blue Sharks for that easy deuce. Now they're up by 9 again.
Nothing you can do with that drive because he had the step against the defenders of the Blue Sharks. So even Coach Kiko agreed na wala na talagang magagawa. Yun na yun. Eh. Just go down and get back on offense.
Meanwhile, Peralta with that short stab is good courtesy of JB Odvina with the assist. 50-43. That three-pointer by Galliano is short. Odvina. Now to Peralta again. In and out. Galliano with the rebound.
Good find by JB Odvina. Just a sorry miss by Peralta.
Great find by Galliano to Renon underneath.
On the other end naman, no?
Oo.
Both teams really finding the open player and the best shot available. It's just a matter of really converting those attempts.
The twin goes all the way. He's fouled. Again, he will shoot 2 free throws. But that charity strike is not a friend of him today, Coach.
Not today for Danny the Twin.
Meron bang factor yun, Coach, kung why you're playing this kind of basketball? Yung galing kayo sa talo, off a long break, and then pagod kayo sa biyahe, you came from Manila, now you're all the way to the north in Pangasinan. Is there an effect to... Well, you've been coaching and playing long enough.
There is definitely a factor. We always stress this, that you need to get rest. Minsan nga, you don't even travel, even if it's just from where your school is to travel to the venue. Factor na kagad yung factor na kagad yung fatigue that you need to rest. So eto pa mas lalo because talaga you go to Pangasinan and you're not at your dorm, you're not in a comfortable environment in terms of, when you rest, when you sleep. So yeah. I would definitely say this is a big factor, being here in Pangasinan, playing in Pangasinan.
Meanwhile, John Umali answers with an easy deuce. JB Odvina dancing against Akyatan. Drops it to Lapira. Lakas ng pektus doon ni Lapira. And also, to continue on your thoughts, Coach, we learned they arrived here at probably like 9 or 10 last night. And then first game sila ngayon. So,
Yes.
maybe, di ba? Merong factor yon, kung may fatigue factor.
A lot of those things you have to take into consideration. Siyempre, they also have to balance their studies. So, yung mga iba dyan, baka may exam kagad or may
Siguro
test.
tinapos pa yung
Yes.
klase, di ba?
So there are those things that we have to consider. But that's what being a student athlete is. No? You have to
That's
be able
part
to
of,
balance. Yes, you have to balance school. You have to balance your academics, which of course is very, very important. Can't stress it enough that you are a student first.
Meanwhile, an unforced error by Gurrea. Dribbling violation ang tinawag ng referees doon. No one there pressuring him or harassing him on that play. Oh. And Durante may pinapatanggal sa kanya ang ating referee. (54-47) is our score. 3:31 remaining here in the third quarter. And it's Escalante got clipped on that play. This is just a 7-point ball game, Coach.
Would have been big had the Blue Sharks converted on that one.
De Leon. Corner triple is good for the team captain of Olivarez College, De Leon. Now they extend the lead to 9. Odvina could not get it to fall. Galliano with the rebound. Escalante now to Galliano all the way. Galliano scores. Lapira. Three servings, couldn't get it to fall. And Olivares on the other side. The smallest guy on the floor gets the defensive rebound. Bautista drops it off to Gorea. Nothing there. Dan Arches. Fake pass to De Leon. A Rondo-esque move from Dan Arches.
So this back and forth action, it's really favoring the Sea Lions right now. And like what I mentioned earlier, Charles, the shots are there for the Blue Sharks. It's just that they're not able to convert. So it's not a matter of them not being able to execute their offense. It's just them not being able to convert the shots that they're taking, which is for me sayang because it was down to 7, and then now it's ballooned back up to 11. So sayang.
Bautista bothered by Umali. Could not get it to fall. Galliano again. Arches to Galliano. Two-man game won't go for the Sea Lions. 1:20 remaining here in the third. Odvina against Escalante. Escapes through the defense of the White Shirts. Nobody there to help on Escalante.
JB Odvina just too fast. Able to escape and use his left.
And Galliano is fouled by Gorea. Less than a minute remaining here in the third quarter.
So you saw there on your screen, Gorea huffing and puffing. You see him tired. That's why he committed that foul. He got beat because of being winded, no? Because of the back and forth action we're seeing against the Blue Sharks. I mean this game against the Sea Lions and the Blue Sharks.
54.8 remaining here in the third quarter. You still have 10 more minutes of basketball. Munsayak. One dribble pull-up won't go for Munsayak. Dolalia secures the rebound. A tall lineup for the Sea Lions right now. Galliano to Dolalia. Maikong didn't expect that pass. And it led to a turnover for the Sea Lions.
Dolalia had the right intention, giving it to Hans Maikong. It's just that Hans wasn't ready for it. Both of them were actually free. So either one of them could have taken that shot.
How do you match up against this kind of lineup? Galing kay Coach Mike Sagigit. Your point guard is probably the size of your wingman. Diba?
It is a tough matchup for Coach Kiko Flores. But like I said, when you're undersized, it's about positioning, about boxing out to be able to get the rebound. It's your speed, being able to beat your defender because, of course, you're the smaller defender. Speaking of defense, Lapira.
And finally, Matthew Lapira from defense to offense. Dinire-diretso niya. And Reyes is limping on the side of the court. Play continues. And he was able to heave it before the horn, but it didn't fall on the basket. But there seems to be an injury on the court. It's Mark Reyes being attended by his whole team. Something we don't want to see dahil we obviously know that kakagaling lang niya sa
Yes.
injury. That's why he couldn't play the last game. And now he's limping. It seems like he tweaked his ankle. And meanwhile, we'll resume the action after this break. Olivares College 62, Ames Blue Sharks 54. Live here at the Calasiao Sports Complex here in Pangasinan for the continuation of the elimination games of the NCRAA Season 30. Charles Bechong here. Coach Anton de los Reyes bringing you the action of the first game of our Friday triple header, and Olivares College leading by 8 at the end of third, 62-54, and something unexpected happened just before the third quarter ended as Mark Reyes was being attended by the medical personnel of the NCRAA.
So Mark Reyes tweaked his ankle. Nothing serious, but it is a lingering injury according to one of the
Oh.
assistant coaches, talking about Coach Darwin De La Punta. So he mentioned that he just tweaked his ankle. It is something that he's been dealing with the whole season.
Still nursing, kumbaga, coach.
Yes.
And that's something we don't want to see, those kinds of incidents.
You want to see players playing 100% every game so that they can be able to help out their team.
And lalong-lalo na, he's been playing great so far.
You
this
see the difference
game.
he makes. Yeah, he was a starter kanina.
Meanwhile, MJ Bautista fouled, counted against Aldre Dulalia, much taller player than him, probably a difference of 5-6 inches maybe. Still great footwork for someone who's not really, playing the big position.
Nakuha sa bilis.
Sa
So I
mabilidad.
think wasn't
Itong,
really expecting that.
.902 remaining here in the fourth and final quarter. Can this be enough for a comeback para dito sa Ames Blue Sharks to secure the first spot here in the NCRAA Season 30? Who is going to be 6-1 at the end of this ball game? And you see there the board members of the NCRAA Season 30 with the man in white, Mr. Buddy Encarnado, the general manager of the NCRAA. We're very happy to be here with you guys. So we're all inviting you to watch us live here at the Calasiao Sports Complex here in Pangasinan. At baka pwede magdala na rin kayo ng puto Calasiao. Di ba, Coach?
Para ma-enjoy nyo yung game. Watch the games with your putong Calasiao.
Oo. And
So,
we learned na
boss, baka naman
bawal magpasok ng outside food and drinks eh. Baka may exception sa puto Calasiao.
Could be. There's an exception since that is what this venue, this town is known for. They're putong kalasyaw.
And ball resumes. 9:02 remaining here in the fourth and final quarter. 8-point lead for Olivarez College. Looking to secure the spot. Yun nga, sinasabi natin kanina, 6-1 spot here in the NCRAA. Maikong on the attack. He is fouled. Will he shoot 2 free throws? No, it's just a blocking foul. No continuation.
Just before the shot was attempted, I believe yung knee, yung tuhod ang nakausli.
Escalante on the right corner. Galeano in and out is his shot. Lapira with the rebound. Now they have the numbers. The twin. Floater won't go. And for Ames Blue Sharks, you have to make those first attempts, no, coach, per possession. Dahil
Yes.
mahihirapan kayo makakuha ng panibagong possession eh.
So that was a good attack by Hornacion, giving that pass to Danny the Twin. Sayang lang. Again, I said this earlier. No, the shots are there for the Blue Sharks. It's just not falling in. The shots aren't forced shots. They're shots that you would normally make under normal circumstances. It's just not really dropping right now.
Great defense and on the interior for the Blue Sharks. Meanwhile, Carlos Lapira still could not get it to go.
Blue Sharks just can't buy a basket. 8-point lead. That shot, I mean, talking about the one of the twin and then this one of Carlos Lapira, would have brought it down to 4 points. Because those were good attempts.
And Coach Kiko Flores wants to talk things over. Timeout has been called. Olivares 65, Ames Blue Sharks 57. 2 minutes gone by the fourth and final quarter. The score is 65-57 in favor of Olivares College Sea Lions. And now the white shirts are running. Dan Arch is ahead of the pack. Kisses the rim. And they lead by 10. 7:42 remaining. Hornacion picked by Danny the Twin. What a great dish! Yun nga lang. Hindi talaga pumapasok yung mga tira ng Blue Sharks. And on the other end, MJ Galeano finishing with the easy deuce to give his team a 12-point lead. Danny the Twin, three-pointer is short. Monsayak goes reverse, still.
You feel for the Blue Sharks because that, again, I don't want to sound redundant, but I am going to sound redundant because the shots are there. The attempts are there. They're not forced shots. It's not like they're taking difficult shots or, trying to force the issue, force the action. It's just that the shots aren't falling. So going back to what you mentioned, the factors contributing to them missing, again, combination yan. Could be the venue as well.
Again, the lid is apparently closed for the Blue Sharks. Yung sinasabi mo kanina, Coach, during the timeout, hindi nagagalit si Coach Kiko sa mga shots nitong Blue Sharks.
He's not angry at at the young men. Right? He's not angry at them because he knows that they're executing. The shots just aren't. It's a different situation when say you execute. Okay, so you run the play, you're able to get your offensive sets going, and then you're able to convert. So you execute and you convert. But in this situation, they execute. It's just they're not able to convert the attempt, the basket. So masakit yun.
Meanwhile, Hans Maikong with a beautiful move. And there you have it. Carlos Lapira gets fouled. And they have the chance to trim this down to a 12-point lead. It's been so long, Coach, since they bought a basket. And the height disadvantage definitely took its toll on the Blue Sharks.
So trying to figure out really how the Blue Sharks are going to be able to claw their way back into this ball game. How they're going to convert those baskets.
Dan Arches. Now to Escalante, top of the key three. Could not get it. Lapira battling for that rebound. JB Odvina kicking it out. Durantes three. Nothing again for the Blue Sharks.
It's a good find by Odvina, finding his teammate open at the wing. Peralta just couldn't convert the basket.
Dan Arches could not get it to fall. Durante is running. Lapira short stab. Danny the twin, finally their first field goal after almost 2 minutes of basketball. And an unforced error for the Olivarez College. Enough to keep them going, to orchestrate a comeback.
They have 5 minutes, a lot of time for them to be able to get a comeback, especially with the speed and the pace that the Blue Sharks play with. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Kanila pa rin ang bola. Third serving. Peralta finally. Their first 3-point field goal since the second quarter. 71-64. Barbero. It is blocked. Kumakatok na sa pintuan ng mga Sea Lions ang Blue Sharks. Could not get it to fall. Yung 3-pointer na yon.
I like that find by JB Odvina though. Again, I always stress this. If your teammate makes this shot, the first shot, try to find him again and see if he's on a streak.
Arches. 6 seconds to work with. Nothing on that play. Durante. He has the numbers. Too much English on that shot. Renon. Now to Arches. And he steps on the line. Or there's a foul by JB Odvina. Now John Umali checking back.
Really nothing JB Odvina could do on the driving Dan Arches. He was closing out hard, so Dan Arches did the right thing, driving inside. Got a foul from JB.
Maikong swishes that short stab. 9-point ball game. Lapira's 3. Could not get it to fall. Kanila pa rin ang bola. JB Odvina spins to Lapira. Finally, they're trading punches right now.
JB Odvina, good find on the baseline.
Again, JB Odvina with the rebound, setting up his teammate Durante. Could not get it. Pero sakit, tignan mo naman kung nakakanino ang bola. Now, it's just a 5-point ball game. A technical foul, or a timeout rather, is gonna be called by Coach Mike Sagigit. Olivarez only leading by 5, 73-68, with 3 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Three minutes remaining here in the fourth and final quarter. Things have just become interesting, and it's just a 5-point lead, 73-68. And a stop by the Blue Sharks. Now they're running. Carlos Lapira. Masyado yata minadali yung possession na yun.
Could have held it and gotten a better setup on their offense for the Blue Sharks.
MJ Galliano. Now it's with Dan Arches. Picked by John Umali. He takes the 3. Just couldn't get it to fall. Ito na naman ang mga naka-asul. JB Odvina. One man to beat. And Galliano secures the rebound. We are approaching the last 2 minutes of this ball game. Barbero and the bench of the Blue Sharks livid right now. Lalong-lalo na si Coach Kiko. He's asking for a travel or any other violation. Basta may violation.
It is a close ball game, so you would expect that every call will be crucial. Talking about the Blue Sharks, for the side of the Blue Sharks. So they are trying to come back from this deficit. Double-digit deficit, now down to just 5.
Lian Barbero missing that first attempt on the charity strike. And he gets that second to go. 1 minute 56 seconds remaining. 6-point ball game. Durante could not get it. Lapira in and out. JB Odvina still could not buy a basket. Is the Blue Sharks. Leon Barbero says, let's take some time. Dan Arches with 10 seconds. Galliano, short stab. Couldn't get the tip in to go. 1:14 remaining. A make or break situation for the Blue Sharks.
So you see now the Blue Sharks opting to walk the dog to buy them more time for this offense.
And there you have it. Correa cuts the lead to just 4 with 1:05 remaining. Hans Maikong. Now it's with Dan Arches. What will they do? Galliano, 3 seconds to go. And they have a chance to cut this lead. So 1 possession ball game. 74-70 with 44.6 seconds remaining here in the 4th.
So that's an excellent adjustment of our table officials getting the time right.
JB Odvina kicking it out. That 3-pointer by Peralta is long. And now they're on the penalty. JB Odvina. That's it for today para kay JB Odvina. Dorantes checking in for JB.
So that's big losing JB Odvina. Of course, we know how important JB Odvina is to this Blue Sharks team, and for Coach Kiko Flores, losing one of his leaders on the floor. 4-point lead. All important free throws.
Five-point ball game. Peralta on the attack. Lapira sets up a 3. That is short. Saves it to the wrong guy. Nobody's fouling. And Carlos Lapira commits his 4th personal foul. Or that's his 3rd, rather. MJ Galliano has the chance to put the nail in the coffin for this game. 20.9 seconds. They lead by 6.
So it's now a 2-possession ball game. Let's see what the Blue Sharks come up with.
Kanila pa rin ang bola. Carlos Lapira's 3. Could not get it. Kanila pa rin. Correa with 7 seconds. Durante. Correa is fouled. And you can see on Coach Kiko Flores the frustration on his face, on his actions right now.
Really a tough loss for the Blue Sharks because they were right there. They were in this.
And that will do it. Blue Sharks could not prevail over the Sea Lions. Olivarez College on top right now with a 6-1 win-loss record. They are now sitting alone at the top. It was a hard-fought battle. We thought that this game was gonna go down the line, and it did. They had a chance to get this, comeback win. Yun nga lang, yung sinasabi mo kanina, Coach, the shots are there, the shots were there, execution, ando doon. It's just the conversion.
Yes. So those are two totally different things to be able to execute your offensive set, offensive scheme. But to convert is, again, another story. So sayang lang talaga because they were able to come back from a double-digit lead as high as 14. So it would have been great to see a comeback. We all like seeing comebacks. But of course, Olivarez College proving to be the steadier team down the stretch. So we have Charles Baetiong with Hans Maikong, the player of the game for today. Charles.
And now we're joined by the best player of this game, Hans Maikong, with 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 out of 8 sa field goal percentage. Hans, ang haba ng bakasyon, ang haba rin ng biyahe papunta dito. Ano yung ginagawa nyo para hindi mawala yung approach nyo dito sa laro, na yung intensity nyo ando doon pa rin?
Laging nag-iensayo kami, 'di ba? May yung nawala yung liga. Yun, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung ensayo namin. Nagpahinga lang kami unti, pero balik to work kami. Tapos yun, mas ginalingan namin kasi gusto naming manalo at saka mag-champion sa ligang to.
Well, congrats on your 6th win, Hans. Bati ka muna at sa mga sumusuportan mo, bigay ka ng pasalamat.
Binabati ko nga po pala ang magulang ko sa mama at papa ko sa Sultan Kudarat, tsaka mga tropa ko doon. Binabati ko rin po yung mga tita ko sa Jensan, tsaka yung Preden Construction, sa kay Madam Fresco family, at kay Coach Victor. Tsaka binabati ko rin mga teammates ko, tsaka sila Coach Mike. Tsaka binabati ko rin po yung girlfriend ko na nasa Mindoro, tsaka yung family niya. Tsaka binabati ko rin po yung sponsor ng jersey namin, Maybin Clothing, tsaka kay Doc Michael Gonzalez, tsaka kay Boss JR. Yun lang po.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hans Maikong, best player of the game, now sitting alone at the top with a 6-1 win-loss record. Stay tuned, we have 2 more games to go right after we return.